Well, good morning, and thank y'all for coming in. You're in for a real treat today. Mr. Fred Reggie, it was in the last graduating class of St. Michael High School. He is an alumni of St. Michael High School, and he has a very wonderful loyalty and feeling for the school. His father, Emil Reggie, attended St. Michael School, and Mr. Emil Reggie, at the time of his death, left a grant to the school. And so every year we have been inviting Mr. Fred back, and part of those funds are used to buy you a special remembrance as you leave St. Michael's School and hear the wonderful story of some of our families who helped to make Crowley the wonderful place it is, but to make St. Michael's the wonderful institution of Catholic learning that it is. So Mr. Fred, we're delighted to have you here.
Thank you, Miss Myra. Good morning.
Good morning.
Exciting times, right? Before we begin, I'd like for you just for a moment to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine something. I want you to think back to when you were in the first grade. Imagine that you and your parents got on a boat, a ship, and sailed to China. And you get off the boat, you can't speak the language, you can't read the writing, you can't understand anything that anyone is saying. You have no form of communication, no iPhone, no land phone, no cameras, just yourself, and your family has about $300 to start a new life. Imagine that. No way to communicate with anyone. You see signs with all these symbols. You don't know what they mean. Got that? Now you can open your eyes. That's the story of my father coming to this country in 1920. He and his parents left Lebanon in June of 1920, and they arrived at Ellis Island in New York via a ship. And I'm going to share this picture with you in just a few minutes. He was enrolled, at that time, they had $18 among 4 people in New York, and they had to make their way to Crowley. There were some friends from Lebanon that had settled here, and they were coming here to meet him and set up a new life and a new world for themselves. $18. I said 300 because that's about what the $18 is worth in today's dollars. And they started a life. My father was enrolled at St. Michael's School in 1920. He was 5 years old. Could not speak a word of English. He peed his pants because he didn't know how to ask to go to the restroom. But think about a 5-year-old having to endure that. He survived. He excelled. He went through to the 8th grade and then dropped out. He was right where you are in 1928. Man, that's almost 90 years ago. He was right where you are. He did not have the opportunities that you have. He wasn't facing the same bright future that you have right at your doorstep today. How many of you are afraid? High school. A little apprehensive. Come on. Macho guys, I know there's some hands that can go up. Sure, I mean, that's the unknown, right? You know the high school's there, but it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world out there. It's a challenging world. It's a world where you're going to gain some independence that you haven't had up to this point. Right now, you're pretty much guided and directed by your parents and what they suggest you do, what they instruct you to do. As you get older, you start gaining more independence. Your teachers in high school are not going to coddle you, and I use that word loosely. They're not going to coddle you like these wonderful teachers at St. Michael. They're going to see you as more independent, having to take ownership of who you are and where you want to go in life. It's going to be up to you. In the next 4 years, you're going to get a driver's license. Talk about independence. Talk about how many of you have grandparents maybe who have aged and they've had their driver's license taken away because they can't drive anymore? Anybody? Or great-grandparents? They get PO'd about that, don't they? Why? Because you're taking their independence. The first symbol of independence that we really have is our ability to get behind the wheel of an automobile and drive alone because we're licensed. And then when you have that taken away, that's really traumatic. So you're going to have lots and lots. You're going to be making a decision on where to go to college and what you want to pursue after high school. I suspect most of you will go to college or maybe to a community college. Maybe you'll go into a business for yourself or with a family. But your whole world is going to open up to you. And I'm focusing on that because my father, Emile Reggie, this is a replica of the ship that they arrived in New York Harbor with, in the SS La Touraine. It was a French sailing ship, and it wasn't air conditioned, and it was in the middle of July, and my grandmother was 7 months pregnant for her second child. They didn't have luxurious cabins like cruise ships do today. They were in what's known as steerage. Steerage is the belly of the ship, the bottom of the ship. They didn't have cabins. There were bunks. They slept where they could. The heat from the engines was sweltering. But they had a dream. They had a dream to come to this country and pursue what this country had to offer, to have the freedom to set up business, freedom from oppression. Their faith, their Catholic faith was protected here. They could practice it like they wanted. There was opportunity, and they seized on it. And they never, never let go of that dream that they had. My father dropped out of school in the 8th grade, went to work as a mechanic. Then he opened a service station, then a ready-mix concrete business. He became a real estate developer. And by any measure, he was very, very successful in what he did. He made contributions to his family. He made significant contributions to his faith. He was involved in the Knights of Columbus. He was a Knight of St. Gregory. He taught CCD. Very, very much connected with his Catholic faith because of his roots at St. Michael. It was the nuns. In those days, we had nuns that taught us. The Sisters of the Most Holy Sacrament. They nurtured him. They protected him. They embraced him. They embraced him as an immigrant to this country. And they encouraged him. They helped build him up, and he never forgot that. That's why he left a grant to St. Michael's School, because it had such a special place in his heart and in his life. And I would say to you that you're going to look back on this day and these past 8 years or 9 years for some of you. You're going to look back with fondness, and you're going to remember that it was here you learned how to read. You learned how to write. You learned how to add 1 and 1 equals 2 and build on that foundation. It all started here. And now you're getting ready to transition into a completely new world. You're going someplace that's not called St. Michael. You're going to Crowley High, you're going to Notre Dame, you're going to ESA, you're going somewhere else. And your little community here is going to be somewhat fragmented. But you're also going to have the opportunity to embrace relationships and community with other students from other schools that feed in to Notre Dame and Crowley High and ESA and STM, wherever you land, wherever you go. And I would encourage you to take your dreams with you. All of you, how many of you have dreams for the future? 100%. Are they your dreams or are they someone else's dreams? They're your dreams, right? I would warn you, there are people out there who will try to steal your dreams. They'll try to discourage you. They'll try to encourage you maybe to take a different path, to do something different. to do something that just doesn't feel right. Don't let that happen. Own your dream. Keep your dream. Live it. Believe it. Every morning when you get up and you look in the mirror, when you're getting dressed, see who you are, know who you are, believe who you are, own who you are, and know that that's at the root. I was talking with Miss Boulay earlier. Is she in here? She's not in here. Donna. And she was telling me, and I'm going to give you this as a little word of encouragement to help you with your parents, okay? We all need help with our parents, don't we? And she was telling me that her son is interested in music production. Sound studio. He's working in Houston at a sound studio, and he wants to build his own sound studio. She's scared to death. I said, why are you scared? She says, because, they're a dime a dozen. I said, don't steal his dream. Sit down with him and have him explain to you what he sees in the future of owning a sound studio that you don't see. And let me tell you something. You are a much, much, much smarter generation than my generation, and I'm going to say it, your parents' generation. You have tools at your fingertips that are going to allow you to blossom and grow like you've never imagined, like your parents never imagined. And that's fearful for parents. They're afraid because they don't know what you know. They don't know what's inside. Share what's inside. Share what you hold dear inside, what your vision for your future is. Then you can accomplish anything you want. You remove that pall of fear from your parents, and they become supporters of you. That's the way. There's always so much conflict is with teenagers and their parents because of that independence thing. At the end of the day, you just want to be heard. You just want to be understood. It's up to you to bring that to them, to keep that line of communication open. Keep it open with the people who are dearest to you and who care about you and who only want the best for your future. You going to agree to do that? When Miss Myra and I started talking, this is our 5th year doing this, I think. I think it's our 5th year doing this. When we decided what to do, years ago someone gave me this book, Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. How many of you have a copy of this at your house? Have you read it? You have. It's a pretty good book. It really is. It's very inspirational. I want to read a couple of passages. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy or the gal who'll decide where to go. Out there, things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang, and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't. And sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. You'll get mixed up, of course. As you already know, you'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will, indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Buxbaum or Bixby or Bray or Mordecai, Alley, Van Allen, O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting. So get on your way. There's lessons to be learned in here. Simple. It's not a library. It's not a book this thick that you have to pour through. It's a quick read, and it's a real read about what life is. And I would encourage you, just like my father and his parents and others who followed and your parents, don't lose sight of your dream. Don't let anyone steal it. Before we hand out a copy of this book, I'm going to do something different. I want everyone to raise their right hand. And I want you to repeat after me. I'm going to say I, and then I want you to say your name. I want you to do this out loud, okay? And then I'll guide you through it, okay? I. No. We got to try this again. We got to try this again. Now you got it. Let's do it. Okay. I do solemnly vow that I will never, ever, ever, ever allow anyone to steal the dreams that I hold dearest in my heart. Thank you. Remember that. Make that pledge to yourself frequently. You are not the future. You are the now. You are the now that creates the future. Make us proud. I know you will. God bless all of you, and I wish you the best of success in everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benton. What a treat to hear the story and to know how far back the roots of this school go, and the traditions that we hold so dear, and the faith that we hold so dear, and the excellence and leadership we try to imbue in you has gone on for generations. What I'd like is to hand you the book, and
Okay.
they'll come forward one at a time and say your name to Mr. Reggie.
Right.
Dylan McCleary.
Dylan, nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Ben Broussard.
Ben,
Thank you,
congratulations.
sir. Ethan McCleary.
Ethan, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind attention today, too.
Jack DeBose.
Jack,
Okay, Emma.
Emma,
Keelan.
congratulations.
Thank you. Ashton Broussard.
Congratulations.
Peyton.
Congratulations.
Blaine Zonbreaker.
Blaine, congratulations. I went to school with a couple of Zon breakers.
Will Dardo.
Congratulations, Will. Like lots of them.
Jacob Weiss.
Jacob, congratulations.
William Odson.
William, congratulations.
Great grandson.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Jack and you.
Jack, congratulations.
Daniel Geelan.
Dan,
Emma and
Geelan,
LJ,
another relative. We're
grandchildren.
cousins, you know that, don't you? You know we're cousins.
Madison Chestnut.
Madison, congratulations.
Brooke Coleman.
Brooke, congratulations.
Kane Lane.
Kane, congratulations.
Brian Martin.
Brian, congratulations.
Michael DeRoy.
Michael, congratulations.
It's Gordon's.
Oh, okay.
Jack Fault.
Jack, congratulations.
John Benton.
John, congratulations. Celine, congratulations. Congratulations.
Students, Mr. Reggie's an avid reader, and sometimes we'll share different books and things that we've read. And so we have a little gift for you from the
Oh,
class.
well, thank
And I
you.
don't know if you've read this, but it is in a wonderful commentary on some special events in Louisiana. in
Oh,
the early
wow.
days.
I love stories about
And it is a
Louisiana.
wonderful story of Grand Coteau, of Huey Long, just to name a few.
Thank you so
But,
much.
we thought when you read it, you'd think of all of us.
Thank you so
What a
much.
great
Thank
gift.
You. Thank you so much.
You know, it's a great gift for our school, Mr. Reggie, when a graduate returns for any kind of special event, and especially to pass on their knowledge to the students. We've been very blessed in the last few years. Almost every year, we have between 7 and 8 and 9 of our graduates returning to teach. For next school year, in addition to the ones that are already here, we hired 4 new people, and all of them are St. Michael's graduates.
Wow.
So that says a wonderful thing about the karma of the school, and it's such a grace when a graduate returns and wants to pass on to the next generation the traditions and the faith and the lessons they learned in these halls. So great gift, and especially fun for us when you come back.
Thank
It's a
you.
wonderful gift.
Can I share one just a little funny story real quick?
Sure.
How many of you know what the word canaille means? Heard canaille, okay? I was very canaille when I was your age. And I remember in our 8th grade graduation night, it was a class night that was held in the gym over at Notre Dame. And that day, we had a substitute teacher who came in. And of course, at the end of the year, you're not interested in anything, right? You're not interested in stuff. You're just interested in clowning around. So we had our classes were separated, boys and girls. So the boys' class, we decided, Miss Epps was her name, she was a substitute teacher, that what we would bless her with that day, we each brought a clove of garlic to school. And we chewed it all day. And we just had to go and ask her questions throughout the day. You know, Mrs. Epps. You know, and boy, I mean, that poor woman wilted like a flower, okay? It was so bad when we came back to school that night for class night, we had to assemble in our classroom. We couldn't stand the smell in there. I mean, it didn't smell like an Italian restaurant, I can tell you that, but it just, this breathy garlic smell, we had to open the transoms and just air it out. So anyway, we used to have fun with our teachers, and we were canaille. So just wanted to share that with you. Again, God bless you all. Best of luck, best of success as you move forward with your dream. Take care.
This is a grace for you to come back. It's
Oh,
so
you're so
wonderful.
sweet.
So glad
Thank
to
you.
have you.
Thank